Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. Today I want to talk about something that you probably can relate to. Let's imagine the scenario. You're lying in bed, trying to sleep, but your mind keeps replaying a heated argument you had early in the day. Can you relate? And as you dissect every word spoken and analyze different outcomes, you find it challenging to break free from this relentless cycle of thoughts. You know what this is called? Yes, you're right. Rumination. And this is what we want to explore a little bit more tonight and in this talk. So why does the mind ruminate? That's a question that I often hear in my power practice. To comprehend why the mind ruminates, we must really dive a little bit more into the complexities of human cognition and emotions. Rumination is influenced by several factors, including unresolved conflicts, unprocessed emotions, and negative cognitive patterns. So let's consider an example. Sarah had a heated argument with a colleague at work, and although the argument has ended, Sarah's mind keeps replaying the encounter, searching for explanations and alternative responses. This persistent rumination is driven by her desire to find a resolution and understand her emotions better. And the tendency and the intention of this is actually quite good, but it just doesn't stop, so it turns the other way, doesn't it? Rumination can manifest in various aspects of our lives. In social interactions. For example, after a social gathering, John finds himself overanalyzing every conversation he had with his friends. He worries if his jokes were well received or if he inadvertently offended anyone, leading to rumination about his social interactions. Or past regrets. Emily often thinks about a decision she made years ago that had negative consequences. She keeps replaying the events, wondering how her life would be different if she had chosen differently. Well, can you relate? Or another one, worrying about the future, and many of you, I suppose, can relate to this one too. Like Mark, who frequently worries about potential outcomes of an important presentation he has to deliver, and he really finds it challenging to stop ruminating about the worst-case scenarios that could occur. Wow. So I think it doesn't really take much to understand how impactful rumination is on mental health. They are quite significant. So what is it what impact do they have? Well, increased anxiety. The mind continuously dwells on negative thoughts. You can imagine that there's a reaction to it. Anxiety levels rise, making it really difficult to find peace and relaxation. That is something that you actually really need to maybe problem solve or analyze. But this is just exacerbating the whole experience. And that part that can rationalize is actually flooded and is in a way in a shutdown mode. So everything is about the anxiety as an attempt to overcome the negative thoughts or a reaction to it. So it just reinforces this and keeps it going and going and going. Persistent rumination can exacerbate feelings of sadness and hopelessness and contributing to the development or worsening of depression. So again, this is very common for people who are experiencing depression and struggling with. Then it has also an impact on decision making. Rumination about past decisions or future choices can cloud judgment. You perhaps again have an example for this one, and it hinders your ability to make clear and rational decisions. Again, it is so much in the way. In order to address and manage rumination effectively, we can harness the power of metacognition and awareness. Metacognition involves being aware of one's own thought processes and emotional responses. And here is how it can help. Recognizing ruminative patterns. Developing metacognitive skills allows you to identify when you are engaging in rumination. Recognizing these patterns is a first step towards addressing and managing them effectively. So you perhaps cannot control whether it's happening or not, but you can control what you want to do next once you see it, once you recognize it. Understanding triggers and causes. So being aware of the triggers and underlying causes of rumination can provide you valuable insights into why certain thoughts persist. So again, metacognition allows you to explore your thoughts and emotions a little bit more deeply and helping you understand the roots of your rumination. Reducing cognitive fusion. That is something that is of the nature of the tendency to become entangled or fused with your thoughts, leading to a lack of perspective. So it's really no space in between, there's no flexibility. It's very kind of one. And metacognition enables you to step back and observe your thoughts objectively and reducing that cognitive fusion and detaching from those ruminative patterns. Awareness and metacognition can also foster mindfulness, which involves being fully present in the moment, as you know, without judgment. Mindfulness allows you to acknowledge your ruminative thoughts without getting entangled. Again, that's very, very crucial, because if you can step out of it, so you can start that space, it's not so fused anymore, and the mind becomes more psychologically flexible. So observing thoughts as passing mental events rather than absolute truths, you can actually break free from rumination. What's meant by that? Rather than treating thoughts as facts, treat them as mental events. So, armed with metacognition and awareness, you can now also implement evidence-based strategies to modify rumination. Again, practicing mindfulness that enables you to observe your thoughts without judgment. Cultivating present moment awareness helps you breaking free from the rumination grip, but it is something that does not happen overnight. This is something that needs to be repeated. It's like you're building a new road in your brain or on your freeway, right? Sort of to teach the brain there is another way and there is a way out. So that is something that, I'm very much focusing in therapy when you come and work with me. The combination of mindfulness and CBT, and maybe going a little bit much more deeper as we identify and challenge those negative thought pattern, but also as we see that mind-body connection and that co-emerging sensations in the body that co-emerge to every thought that you are aware of or not is actually reinforcing this pattern and keeping it going. And can you imagine if you identify that pattern and if you find another way of stepping out and relating and responding differently to your experience, that can be quite liberating. So rumination can impact your mental well-being. Understanding the origins of it and employing effective techniques will help you empower to navigate through this cognitive process, and that in a much more healthier manner. Metacognition and awareness are powerful tools in enabling you to recognize, understand, and address rumination. So thank you very much for tuning in tonight or whatever time it is at your end. And remember, by acknowledging and managing your ruminative tendencies, you can pave the way for a more balanced and contented state of mind. And if you need help for that, there's lots of help out there. And I'm here for you as well. If you want to work with me, just flick me an email and we take it from there. Otherwise, good luck and thank you for your attention. Goodbye for now.